Well, hello. Welcome back to my channel, Diagnosis and Beyond. I'm your host, Angel Marie Carson. I've been a speech pathologist for 30 years, a brain cancer survivor for 16, and a mom. On today's episode, I want to talk about resilience and what it means and what it doesn't mean. I have learned a lot about resilience in the past 16 years. I have learned that it is not fearless. I was terrified before surgery. I was terrified when I woke up without the ability to speak. I was terrified when I thought of my children seeing me and not hearing me. So resilience isn't the absence of fear. It's continuing even when fear is sitting beside you. The second thing I learned is that healing takes longer than most people realize. People celebrate when treatment ends. They ring the bell when you're done with chemo. It was a year for me. But for many survivors, like myself, that is when a different journey begins. For me, it was learning to speak again, learning to work again, learning who I was now. Some wounds can't be seen. Mine is an invisible disability, but they still affect everyday life. The third thing I learned is that asking for help is actually a strength. I used to believe I needed to do everything myself. Cancer taught me otherwise. Doctors, therapists, friends, family. Sometimes resilience means allowing someone else to carry part of your burden. What I haven't learned, now here's the honest part. There are things I still struggle with more than others. Because surviving cancer doesn't mean I've mastered my life, not by any means. I still become overwhelmed more easily than I used to. And because it's my frontal lobe that controls my impulses, I sometimes say too much. I don't always read social situations like I used to. I miss cues. Sometimes I leave a conversation wondering, did I say too much? Did I really understand what was happening? And I have to process. It takes a few minutes or up to a couple hours or a day or so. And that can be painful. Another thing I haven't learned is how to make every difficult experience meaningful. Sometimes bad things are simply just bad. Sometimes there isn't a lesson waiting to be discovered right away. Sometimes healing is simply getting through my day. And that has to be okay. Today, resilience looks different than it did 15 years ago. It isn't climbing mountains every day and successfully completing a sprint triathlon. Sometimes resilience is going to work when you're mentally exhausted. Sometimes it's apologizing when you've said too much. Sometimes it's resting without feeling guilty. Sometimes it's setting healthy boundaries, maybe for the first time. Sometimes it's laughing, sometimes it's crying, and sometimes it's simply getting out of your bed. I also learned that resilience doesn't erase grief. You can be grateful to be alive and still grieve what you've lost. Both can be true at the same time. If you're struggling today, whether it's cancer, another illness, depression, loss, or an invisible disability, something no one else can see, I hope you know this. You don't have to be inspiring every day. You don't have to have all the answers. You don't have to earn your worth by being strong. Simply continuing is enough. Thank you so much for spending these few minutes with me. If there's one thing I'd like you to remember it's this: resilience isn't about becoming someone who never struggles. It's about continuing to live, love, learn, and grow even while you're still struggling. Thank you again for joining me on Diagnosis and Beyond. I've been your host, Angel Marie Carson. Please subscribe to my channel and like it and share it with somebody who you think may be struggling today. Thank you again, and God bless you. Bye-bye.